Hey folks, welcome to Affiliate Nerd Out. This is a list building live. I honestly don't know what's going to happen today, so stay tuned and let's see what happens. It's something I'm trying out that's new, and I've got a lot of requests on, hey, how do you build your lists? How are you finding those targeted affiliates? And so I'm going to go through my process today. This is something I'm going to try out for a month and see if it grows any popularity. I'm going to do this Wednesdays at 8:30 Pacific time, where I'm going to be building new lists, and it might be an opportunity for your brand to get a free list. If you want to drop your URL for the future list to be built, please do in the chat. This is interactive. I will be going to the chat room to discuss things. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop a line to me today. And without further ado, let's talk about why I'm doing this. So, sometimes it's interesting why people give away secrets. And the reason I'm going to go through my process today is, first off, it's really hard to replicate. My knowledge and being 15 years in this industry has been an interesting road to say the least, but I've gathered a lot of intel from the industry and who's doing what. And I, keep my ear to the ground to what's going on in the industry. Um, Also, I'm trying to educate folks on effective ways and tools to use in the industry, and I'm going to be highlighting some of my favorites. Today, I'm going to be going through 3 tools that I really like. Go over that a little bit later. And then also, I am trying to live that affiliate dream altogether. Full FTC disclosure here. Most of the links I'm going to share today are going to be tools and products of that I am an affiliate of. So I'm going to create this content to help businesses out. I'm out there hustling. So if you want to support my business and what I'm doing, please use the links so I can keep on creating that content and live this dream. And then why am I doing this live? I find a lot of value in doing raw content, and it also forces me to be uncomfortable and to strengthen muscles that I'm not normally used to. So we're testing it out. We're going to see what happens. Again, if you want your brand for next week to be listed, hit the comments below or email me at dustinhowes.com. All right. So I'm going to go through my step process of, I'm going to quickly take you through the steps that I go through, and we're going to focus on a few areas of importance, and then I'm going to show some tools and go through my process. So let me share my screen and get this thing rolling. All right, I'm in the tiny window here. So we'll start off with our processes today. So let me broaden this out. Might look a little pixelated, but we'll see what happens. My 6-step process for every brand that I take on and build these lists for, it is what I call a perfect partner 500. And when brand signs on, says, hey, Dustin, I want you to find the perfect partners for me. First off, my first step is always learning about the brand. Second step is auditing their existing program. Next, we build out partner personas, which I'm going to go through today. We're going to go through a gap analysis where I'm taking your existing program and finding out what affiliates would be a good fit for it that you guys are missing. And then I build that list of 500 ideal targets for complete with contact information so that partners can go and your affiliate manager can go and reach out to. Sorry, I got distracted because Kristen Evans jumped in and said, can we create a list around your hair extensions? Interesting that you would think I have hair extension. This is real. Thank you, Kristen, for jumping in and participating. And then my sixth step here is email templates for each persona. The two things I'm going to focus on today are partner personas and list of 500. I'm not going to be able to complete a list of 500. I'm not going to do all the partner personas, but I am going to go through my process of how to do that. And speaking of that list of 500, these are the steps of things that I like to do, and not necessarily in that order today, but these are avenues which I traditionally go through. And first off, let's talk through a little of these. I love going to backlinks of competitors. Semrush is a fantastic tool for this. And then Affistash I use for contact enrichment. You can go through existing content that is not linking to you. So sometimes I go and make manual searches on YouTube and find content that isn't using affiliate links. Super easy. Read better. I asked about a hair extension brand. Can you create a list around hair extensions? Still don't get it. Yeah, I could build one, I guess. I start off with the URL. If you could add the URL, I can do this in the future. I've got a game plan today, but I can absolutely build that next week. So please share it in the comments, Kristen. Getting back to it, list of 500 others, brand followers. This is a rare opportunity. There's a tool called Phantom Buster where you can go to a competing brand's Instagram page and then find who's following them, and then enrich that data using influencer.club, which is a new tool that I'm getting into. I won't be talking about it today, but I'm diving in a little bit more. And you can turn those followers into possible influencers. It'll gather that data for how many followers each one of those followers actually has. Pretty cool. Customers, taking your existing customers, again, enriching that data with Influencer Club, super cool tool. Competitor followers. So along those same lines as the brand followers and the customers, you're going to the competitors and finding the people that are following them. And then content sites, everybody should be very aware of this. You can search by keyword and use Affistash. Influencers, hashtag. I'll be using Upfluence today to showcase a little bit of that. And then podcasts. Podmatch is a pretty cool tool. Won't be going through it, but and then I have giant lists of high potential big publications that I've worked with in the past, and seeing what others are going to be a fit is essential. So getting into it, let's start with what we start and learning about the brand. So when I take on a brand, one of the first things we do is have them fill out a form, and they give me the information that I need. I have a very long list of questions. The survey takes about 30 minutes for somebody on the marketing team to fill out. But these are all the questions that I really need to understand the brand a little bit more and the marketing campaigns that are working for them. So that's something that everybody goes through. But today I'm just going through the brand that I'm going to be talking about today is Truly Free. These are friends of mine in the industry. Orlando's a former affiliate Nerd Out guests, and he's a hell of a guy. And he asked me to go do some recruiting for him. And I said, hey, I'm going to build this list and I'm going to show you how. So that's what we're doing today. The brand itself is really cool. It is organic, created cleaning supplies for everything. Orlando is generous enough for me to get comfortable with the brand. He actually sent me a really awesome looking influencer pack. This is what they send influencers so that they get familiar with the product and they build content around it. Super cool strategy that they've got going on there. And I'm going to be going after building a list of potential partners that they aren't working with in the future here. So just by the looks of it, you can see on this page, their first fold is moms that are cautious about what they use in terms of chemicals. everything that Truly Free creates is non-toxic, and they're all about you know processing to that greater good, essentially. So all the products, fabric softeners, cleaning products, I've been using them for a couple of months now. Really love what they're doing, and they're all very effective and very clean products. So they have folks that are promoting there, and Orlando asked, "Hey, could you find more mothers out there creating content?" So mommy bloggers is a huge target for this product, and they have a very good system of sending them this free product and then going out there and testing it out. So one of my first steps, using Semrush. I love going and checking out the URL and finding a little bit more on the brand. You can go check out organic keywords that they are ranking for. I like to play around with this and take out the actual brand name and try to figure out what kind of keywords that they want to rank for and what they're missing, and then go search those kinds of keywords and hashtags in the future. You can also go into the competitors. I took a look at this quickly and didn't find any of their main organic competitors, which is hit or miss on Semrush, in my opinion. But like Indeed and Instagram are not competitors in any means. But and Girl Gone Green is an ideal mom blogger that we would like to partner with. So not a great fit within Semrush, but that doesn't mean we can't just go out and find, simply do a truly free competitor and find some of the first results. You're going to find folks that are, Better Life offers natural cleaning products. Sure, let's give Better Life a look. Don't click their sponsored links. I'm going to take this URL. This looks just as a great competitor. So I'm going to take the URL and give it a look. Search. And then I want to find out where their backlinks are. So I go down to this backlinks area. And you can use some of these cool features. So one of the first things I do is go to the sponsored area and see if they've got anything. So they don't. Not a big deal. They don't have a huge backlink database here, which is interesting, meaning that they're not high volume in traffic and domain authority is struggling. So a good competitor, yes, but maybe not well established enough for my liking and what we're doing here. So food fantasies, I'll take a quick look and see if this is a potential partner. I don't love it. Not a great fit. And so I'm going to move on into some of their other competitors and see if I can't find a better one. True Company cleaning products. So Tree Original. Let's see if they've got any more traffic that we can go spy on. I'm already in the backlink analysis, and now we've got 821, a little bit better, but not ideal. Nothing sponsored. No follows are there. Looking at all, and then page authority going down. Let's see if I can't find a few. Crunchbase, not a great fit. All right. So I wish I had a little bit better of a understanding of this product and their main competitors, but I didn't get that information. Again, I'm going from scratch here. So I'm going to go ahead and pivot and go into what we're really looking for in this. I'm going to go into somebody that I've done a list with in the past. And this is a brand called Backbone that I'm creating targets for. And essentially, we're going to download a list of the competitors' backlinks. I like going into that area of sponsored because now we know that they are partnered with them on some kind of performance basis. And this is what that list will look like. You can identify which brands that they're working with, which kind of affiliate partners. So, for example, PC Gamer is a great fit for what they're doing, and they've got a source URL. We would love to work with these guys. So, what we can do is just grab simply the source URLs that are here. I'm going to grab a handful of them, and then I'm going to go utilize Affistash. So, if you don't know Affistash, I'm a co-founder over here. I'm trying to make the perfect affiliate recruitment tool. Go to affistash.com. I'll send a link in there. And in the discover partner phases, we've got a bunch of different tools here. We can find competitor finders and try to make a run for that. But I'm not going to go that route. I'm going to go and find our contact finder, which is super helpful, and go for bulk content. So I'm going to hit domains. We can upload a CSV file and pull it in from there, or we can just choose to manually put in a bunch of different ones. So we can take the PC Gamer here that we had. Well, you can upload a CSV if you like. I'm just going to quickly grab a few of these URLs that I think are going to be great fits. Now I have a advantage here of knowing that these three are actually affiliates, and they're going to go and find everybody at this company. They're going to give you at Affistash anywhere between 5 and 10 contacts for each one of these companies. And so then we can go and check it out and say, hey, I like the looks of this guy. He's a writer. If you're into sending messages to writers, go and do that. But we get their LinkedIn information, we get their email address, and now we can add that email address to the right person that we want to talk to. So editors work sometimes. Steven looks like he's been there a while since he's straight one word. Senior writer, this is fine. So we would go here and add that into our list, and under the company, and then we can do that. That's a really manual process, but I'm just showing you the concept of it. I'm a lot faster at this and can process things a little bit faster than what I'm showing here, but that is my process and how we're going about finding these kinds of contact and enriching them. So that's one angle here, and that's with the backlinks. We can move on into existing content for something. One of the things I like to use is Semrush again. We can go through that real quickly. So going back to the domain overview, and we can go into Magic Keyword Tool. And something that I know that they would want to be ranking for is organic cleaning supplies. Cleaning supplies organizers, organic cleaning supplies. Great. Let's go check it out. There's not a huge keyword volume there, but we can see who's out here ranking. And this results at 80 million. We don't need to export all of that, but we can export the first 100 and put it into a CSV. And then we can head on over to Affistash, and boy, I hope this works. Great. Some of these you're not going to need. I don't need Walmart. You can vet through this. I don't need Amazon. I don't need YouTube. I don't need Target. These are the ones that are ranking on there already, so we can eliminate some of them. EWG is outstanding for cleanliness in this industry of I don't need time. Anyway, we'll go down to bottom, get contacts, and Affistash will find that list. And we can comb through this as thoroughly as we want. We can decide, yes, I want to go find these guys or this person in particular at that company. We can make that decision here, or we can download the entire list. So there's an export feature into a CSV that we can get all of these emails. Affistash will count every credit that you download for that. There's an easy export for this, or you can actually star each one of these, and it's going to add it to the CRM where you can go and manage the contacts that are there and export that CSV itself. So that will load. I will show you an end result of what that looks like in the end. All right, moving on to that next step, customers. All right, we've got 8 more minutes. Let's see what we want to find. Influencers, and we'll utilize Upfluence here. So Upfluence is an incredibly powerful tool that I've been utilizing lately. It's pretty expensive. I think it's like $500 a month for 500 downloads of credits. Could be wrong on that. You can create lists, all the lists that you want, and organize them neatly. And then using these filters of, hey, I want to find specifically Instagrammers with 20,000 to 200,000 followers. I find, and make sure you add, the percentage of engagement. 2% is a good baseline. You can go more. And I like this area of expertise because they still might do affiliate and performance basis with just a gifting. It's possible. Now, some of them are going to have agencies that are representing them and are going to be really hard pressed to go and get, actual sponsorships as well. So that's a possibility that you might come across. Just a heads up. But we can get their contact information, which is the more important part. And so it'll start whittling it down. So safe cleaning products. Let's see what happens when we just add that keyword. You can put the condition of like it absolutely must be in their content somewhere. And we can whittle it all the way down to 6. They have millions of people in their database. Also, another filter you want to use is show only creators with emails, because I want to email them, not necessarily in a mass outreach, but the more filters that you can do with this, the better. I also like to go into the United States so we can clean up some of that. And we're left with 3, which is, I could have a list of hundreds, if not thousands, to pick from here, but I'm whittling it down for the purpose of this tutorial. And so I get to quickly look at each one of these guys and see what kind of opportunity we're looking like. I like they have an estimated price based on how many followers they have, estimated price range it's going to take to work with them. But again, that's negotiable, but it gives you a mainframe of what you can expect. Looks like they're really into dogs, parents. parenting, family resources looks like a good fit. I can say, yeah, I want to check this out. I'm going to add them into my selected list. This person here, Rima. Oh, she's got a dryer ball here. I like the looks of it. She's using something that she's personally using. 21,000 followers isn't a whole lot. I know that she would love this kind of fit. Let's go with it. And then Sanji Mama Doll, lifestyle, family life. Yes, let's go for it. Now we've added these selected. We can go and download this list. And I want to show you what that export actually looks like. You get 500 exports per month. You can do the standard, but it's not going to come with emails. So I'm just going to export these 3. And that'll quickly download, and then we can add it into this. Come on. Cool. It emailed us. All right. I'm going to upload that. Let me figure out how to do that. I've only got 3 more minutes. I'll showcase what kind of information you're going to experience from Upfluence. So I'm going to go into this influencers, and what I've done is this is a list of all the categories and columns that I'm very interested in. Now, Upfluence will give you 50 more columns of things that I don't need. So what I'm really looking for is what's their URL, so I can quickly go check out their channel, how many subscribers, how many views, how much engagement, how much engagement rate and engagement growth are interesting angles that some people may or may not like. And then YouTube price suggestions gives you a baseline of what to look for. Also, they've got your blogs, your visits, Instagrammers. I really don't have any idea how they pull some of that, but they're doing amazing stuff, and it's super easy, and I love what Upfluence has got going on. They give you the email addresses so you can make this outreach, and that's the complete list. I give each one of these a score of 1 to 5, and my score is usually based on what type of partner they are, if they fit in the categories, if they have between 20,000 and 200,000 followers, or if they have if they're in the United States. So based on whether or not these are like the ideal partner is the score that they end up getting. And I'm only putting 4s and 5s on the sheet. If something's into a 3 category, it probably is not going to make my list of 500, but that's what's going to happen. Also want to highlight, this is what partner personas look like. As I gather what type of partners I'm looking for, I categorize them into 2 of them: influencers and content sites. I'm not working with coupon sites, loyalty sites, any of that nature. I'm strictly looking on content creators. And then I have subcategories essentially of who these players are: the influencers, gaming news, for example, and then giving an example of each one of these is important. And then I come back to the client. I'm like, hey, here's what I found. This is what I'm seeing as a partner target. Do you agree? Do you like this list? Should I go find these in each one of these subcategories? If yes, how much time should I be spending? And I can categorize each one of these and prioritize, so I can get Minecraft influencers and build a list of 50 of them and only do 20 of the toys. So prioritizing is important when you're doing this kind of search on Upfluence for those influencers. And then the content sites, they're all going to come. So what we built out for content sites is what was ranking online that we can be a part of on a listicle. We can find content related to that type of brand and we build out this list, and then I give you people that are working at that company as well with their contact information, whatever I can pull utilizing either Upfluence, Affistash, or wherever else I can find it to gather that contact information. So, all right, that was a quick one. We didn't get to a ton of like, hey, this is how I do it exactly for truly free. And I think that's what we'll try to focus on the next time around. I'm going to iron out these partner personas a little bit more in next week. And if you have a brand that you would like me to highlight and go build a list for, I'm happy to do it, and I'm going to do it live. So please add a URL or email me at dustinhowes.com. And that's it for me, folks. Please click on the links if you want to help support this type of content. I'll be here Wednesday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific time every week, so please stop on by. All right, folks, that's it for me. Keep on recruiting.